Hey guys, welcome back to Balls Fan TV, and today we're doing the match preview for our game against Dundalk tomorrow at Casey's Field. Um, I think last week was a little bit better than what we've seen in previous weeks. A 2-2 draw against Finn Harps. I know it doesn't sound like a great result, which it wasn't. We kind of we go ahead through a bit of a scrappy goal. Let's be honest, from Varian, and then we sort of just conceded two goals out of nothing. Boyle scores a header from a corner, then Filip Mihojevic capitalises on a mistake from Kieran Kelly, and he gets the second, and almost out of nothing, we're 2-1 down. Then obviously McDade scores a pretty weird goal. I don't know what the keeper was doing. He must have had a bet on him to score or something. But yeah, it was just a moment of madness, really. I think obviously, I don't know if it was played kind of a long ball towards McDade, and then I don't know, the keeper just tried to control it with his foot, but he just completely misses it, and McDade just taps it into an empty net. Yeah, it was a mad game. A lot of controversy and stuff like that about stuff we were singing and stuff, and obviously that kind of caused a bit of a row on Twitter between us and Finn Harps fans, but which we won't go into. That was last week. We look ahead to this game, which will be a tough one. Dundalk are um like closing in on Europe. I know it's not fully, they haven't fully got it just yet. I think the Pats are still, I think, about 6 points behind them. But I don't know how many games each team has. Maybe some might have more, but we have two games, and I think the rest might have two. Some might have a couple more. I don't know, depending on games in hand and stuff like that. But yeah, they probably will get it in the end. It's just not kind of fully done yet. I suppose their fans will be up for it. They'll want to push the players through to the through the final, get over the final hurdle and qualify for Europe, which I think that they didn't. I don't think they qualified last year, did they? And obviously, kind of like us, they kind of had a disappointing enough season that season where they had there was good performances from them, but they just didn't quite get there in the end. And I think it looks like they're going to qualify this time around anyway. As for us, really, it's just kind of about Declan Devine kind of assessing the squad ahead of next season, seeing what players he wants to keep, what players he wants to have in his plans. Obviously, I suspect that the players that aren't really getting any game time are probably going to be leaving. We didn't see Burr against Finn Harps. I suppose looks like he'll be on the way out. There's a story there today about Sligo being interested. Ali Coote was on the bench again. I believe he's under contract, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Whether a team will be willing to pay a transfer fee for him or not. But um, yeah, I expect a tough game tomorrow in a packed out. I think they're calling it Casey's Field now until the end of the season. Um, that their fans are very good. They're very loud, and they've been very good at home this season as well. I think they've only lost a few home games. Might even be one or two. I haven't checked. I know I should probably be doing more research on it, but I know they haven't lost a lot of home games this season. And they have a good team. They've got experienced pros in there, like obviously Wardy, who was at us for a good few years, and Patrick Hillman, and all the players like that. Good mix of youth as well, with like Stephen Bradley and that young Welsh fella that they had in midfield. I can't remember his name. He was good. They have that. Sorry, it was Joe Adams. I just wanted to make 100%, make it 100% sure that I knew his name. They also have good experience, like I said, Boyle, Mountney. I like the goalkeeper, Shepherd. He's been good this season. He's probably in the running for goalkeeper of the year. So it's going to be a very hard game, especially with us just not really having. We don't have anything to play for. It's just all about assessing the squad for next season, seeing what players we want to keep. Obviously, there's very few. Let's be honest. It's just been letting us down too much this season. Um, but we did see a bit more fight from that in that Finn Harps game. So hopefully. we can just pull something out of the bag, surprises, hopefully. I know Sligo went up there and scored 3 goals, or a 3-all draw. Didn't give our head a couple of times in that game as well. I think Dundalk's defence can kind of switch off at times as well. Especially against us at times in the past, they've kind of struggled against pacey wingers. Especially Twardek, remember a couple of years ago during the lockdown, he tore Sean Gannon apart. Obviously, he's not there anymore, but that's the thing I've noticed about Dundalk. They kind of struggle with pace. Obviously, the defense is kind of aging now, and then they both tend to struggle with kind of stuff like that. So maybe that's something we could kind of use to our strengths. Going into the predicted lineup, I'd say it'd be Toy Groin in goal. Jordan Doherty didn't play, which I thought was a bit surprising considering he's probably been my player of the season. He's been solid and consistent every time he's played this season. He's barely put a foot wrong. Um, so yeah, I'd probably play him at right back. Two centre halves. I'd go Kelly and Feely. I know Josh Kerr played. I don't know. Listen, I'd probably put maybe Feely back at centre half because I thought him and Kelly were doing okay. Under kind of Pender's kind of interim time as manager, they didn't really make too many mistakes. Like they hadn't. I know Kieran Kelly made a bit of a howler last week, but I'd probably go with them too as the centre halves. With left full, I'd probably go with Max Murphy. I think he's the only one we've kind of got available. I'm not sure what's up with Burke and Wilson. I don't know whether they're injured or not. They probably are, considering they haven't been in the squad the past couple of weeks. Into the midfield, I'd say the three in midfield would be Flores, Clark, and Livingston. I'd like to see someone like McManus maybe get a chance, but I think Connor Livingston might play. Unfortunately, I don't think he's quite good enough. He was good a few years ago. But he just hasn't really kind of shown the same amount of kind of consistency that he has in the past couple of years, which isn't like him. He was always quite a consistent player for us, but um, I'd say Devine will probably start him just with that kind of experience, bit of leadership, I suppose. And then the front three, I'd say it'll be McDade, Varian, and Twardek. Ali Coote might start. I know he was on the bench, but I don't think there'll be many changes. I think Devine might just want to stick with that team from now until the end of the season. Obviously, there's 2 games left, last away game of the season. I think he just kind of wants to have a look at all, and say you might see a few changes. You never know. You might want to have a look at all the players. I'm sure he's done that in training and all, but yeah, that's my team anyway. In terms of a prediction, I don't expect much, to be honest. I just want to see something that I can look forward to for next season. Something that can look I can basically just look forward to for next.